Not going to elicit any suspicion at all.
Hey, Dan.
It's a really good point. Yes,
Hold
sir.
on. We have our own Rob Schmidt who's got to the scene. He's got a signal up, and he's able to take in what's happening and give us the latest information. Rob, where are you exactly, and what are you seeing?
Hey, Brian, yeah, we're at 43rd. I'm standing at 43rd and 8th, so the west side of Midtown. This is where the Port Authority is, so this is where all the buses come into the city. This is a major subway station here, so it's really an epicenter of how people get into the city, and it's Monday morning, and it's rush hour as people come in. So this, of course, would be a place that somebody that wanted to inflict a lot of damage would go to do that. We're only a few blocks from Times Square. We're only about 10 blocks from you guys there in Midtown. I ran over here as soon as we heard the initial report from the Bureau. Right now, we're trying to figure out what this is and to make sense of it. When I first got here, nothing was roped off, and there was a huge response, but there wasn't, there wasn't just a lot of panic. So it was interesting to see all of these police and firemen here, and everybody responding to this, but then getting here and just kind of standing around wondering what had happened. I walked into a deli over here trying to get some kind of basic information about what happened. I asked the guy, did you hear anything? Did you feel an explosion? Did you feel a rumble? Because I know the subway runs right underneath the blue line. The ACE runs right underneath 8th Avenue here. And I said, did you feel or hear anything? He said he didn't. So I'm not sure exactly what this is. It doesn't mean that nothing happened. Obviously, this is a maze of systems underneath New York City. But it could have been something that was just very small, that hopefully did not inflict a lot of damage is what we were hoping. I see a number of stretchers over here to my left that the FDNY has brought in, but they're not moving them downstairs yet. They're just kind of standing there and waiting. So I think it's all happening beneath me right now. They're trying to make sense of it at this point.
Rob, they blocked off the streets. How did you get in? Did you get in with your your news credentials, or did they just let anyone come in?
No, I slid in before it had really, developed into what it is now, which is now 42nd and 8th, which is, 42nd and Main, East-West Street through Manhattan. That intersection is completely blocked off, and that is where the Port Authority physically is, where all those buses come in and where all the people come through. I'm at 43rd now because they pushed me back. But yeah, the subway lines, I believe right now are suspended, and I know that there's major delays on buses coming in because their whole operation runs out of this intersection. So it's a mess, but hopefully there's not a lot of damage and not a lot of casualties in this or any injuries in this is what we're all hoping for. And right now it does feel like even though there's been this massive response, there is kind of a very lackadaisical kind of attitude by first responders here. There's not a lot of running around, not a lot of panic here at the scene, just a lot of people here.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you're just tuning in, police confirm that pipe bombing of some sort at the Port Authority near the subway. Suspected bomber is in custody. It sounds like 2 people are hurt, including the suspect. Now here's the thing, Rob. The Port Authority, which it sounds like was the target, is how tens of thousands of people get into New York City. Is the Port Authority closed, and does that mean people who are on the rail lines heading in are on trains that are stopped? Because my daughter is in the Lincoln Tunnel right now trying to come to work, and her bus is not moving. So where are people going to be going?
That's a great question. And the Lincoln Tunnel comes right in here too. I mean, the tunnel spits you out at like 40th, I think around 40th Street and 9th Avenue or something like that. So she's going to be coming in right into the thick of all this as well. I don't know if the Port Authority is closed. I don't think that it is. I think they're going to try and work around this thing and try, because I mean, you've got, hundreds if not thousands of buses and trains and everything comes through. A lot of it comes right into this area here. So I mean, this is really how New York operates. So
I'm not sure if they will, Rob, let them in.
This area, so. Based
on what we saw after 9/11, I know Dan Bongino is worried about other attacks that might have been planned. I bet they're not going to let those buses come into Port Authority for that very reason.
So what I saw from the NYPD is that they were expecting delays on Port Authority and that the subway had been suspended. So
Rob,
I think that it definitely had more of an impact on the subway.
Rob, hold that thought a second. We're just getting in new footage from recent footage from inside the Port Authority. There are reports from the Times Mirror and others that there was a wild stampede after the explosion actually happened. Let's look at this video together for the first time. And I'm not sure if you'll hear anything on it, but with everyone with an iPhone, let's listen.
See, what you notice there is we were told that there was a stampede inside the Port Authority as soon as they started to evacuate. And you can see some people in the background actually taking off.
It looks like the people wouldn't know. Just you see.